I was dance.
Chair on Mr. Brown. You're dancing.
Yeah, again, Bogle.
Anything? Go, Mr. Brown. Let's more vibes, man. This is fast. We're ready for all the week with the vibes.
UTech. So, afternoon, everybody. Thanks for having me here. Sorry for shifting up your program. I'll be as quick as possible after run. But then I'm just here. Saw you guys' topic. I invited by Dr. Blair, worked here at Odus some time back. So I'm going to talk about revolutionize the boiler and livestock production using phytogenics and sustainable solutions to improve performance. I don't think I need to go through this because everybody here bring the definitions already of what is the organo-culture. I'm just going to talk about the fact that in Jamaica, it's pretty rudimentary, right? We don't have a lot of research. We don't have the platforms to get it done. We just know about a particular thing, and that's the problem. But we just have to acknowledge that ultimately that we do a sustainable practice that can lead to better productivity, health, and food safety. Hold on, let me see something here. Okay, good. So when we're talking about agriculture, we're talking about the context that we're dealing with, looking at something that contributing 9% to our GDP. If you look for data to talk about livestock contribution to GDP, cannot be found. But our focus here will be poultry, which is both for meat, eggs, pork, and dairy. This graph I got from Dr. Paul Jennings. What he did was kind of pull up what you call the self-sufficiency of contribution of crude protein to our country. Why I talk about pork, poultry, and eggs? Because we're high in percentage. Egg 90%, poultry 80% self-sufficient. If you look at the ruminant animals like sheep, goat, beef, and milk, we're not very high there. So we're talking about the industry that have a massive impact. The country, local farmers invest heavily into this sector. Okay. How we know that? This is a recent publication from the Caribbean Poultry Association where they talk about that the industry contributes about $310 billion to the country, which is about 8% of our agriculture and manufacturing GDP, and they've seen a 40% increase in production over the past 10 years. Amount of persons in the sector, 300,000 Jamaicans, and they contribute $3.6 billion in taxes to the country. So we have a sector here that has a lot of money, local based. So what's the situation? We have a rising demand for sustainable poultry production. We don't have antibiotics free. We don't use antibiotics in our production system anymore. We have a rising demand for a healthier, sustainable thing as a product. And then we realize that phytogenetics offer that natural, effective way for us to do it. It's a lot of research going into this as an alternative to traditional growth promoters, which will be antibiotics. So what's my objective today? Just to explore some of the products that we have here locally that you can use. The benefits of nutraceutical and gut health, which is a very big issue. And then to showcase some of the phytogenetics, natural oils, organic acids that improve production. So I put a list there where you call the phytogenic genetic compounds, tannins, and that type of stuff. Right. Essential oils and flavonoids. All right, so gut health is a very big thing. The research into gut health is a big thing right now where we're studying even the microbiome, and that is the bacterial population, enzyme population that's run through the gut, and we're trying to modify it because we have to understand that if a gut is compromised, we don't get the performance, right? And then we have to look at alternatives to antimicrobial resistance. So phytogenetics is a very big thing now. A lot of suppliers across the world that does this come to Jamaica to sell us these products, right? The ginger, turmeric, thyme, all that have these antimicrobial effects, antioxidant effects, and they talk about these performance that we gain with improved FCR, which is the feed conversion ratio. That's how we make our money, and the egg quality, and it reduces diarrhea incidence, etc. Right? So this is Dr. Denny, a mentor of mine. She was the nutritionist before me, and she was speaking about medium fatty chain acids that you can get from the coconut. That is a $5,000 per metric ton business, and they're putting it into poultry feed. So why we're not doing it here? Right? So some of the nutraceuticals I think that we can use locally, coconut oil, the same medium chain fatty acids. I'm not sure if anybody here from the country or if anybody raising chicken, normally they put aloe vera in the water. I will wonder why. Very good compound, anti-inflammatory, immunomodulating, and then pepper moringa is the next big one out there. Next thing that we can look into is probiotics and prebiotics that we can naturally get just localized to our conditions and can stimulate our animals. For example, prebiotics, there's a lot of that we can play around with yeast extract, cassava, pomace that comes with all these NSPs and the must that we can get from them, carbohydrate sources that allows good bacteria to grow is something that we can capitalize on. Right? So Hypro introduced a product called Celminax into their feed. Celminax is a prebiotic. Yeast extract puts in all in our feed. I just want to show you how just adding this prebiotic improve performance. The first graph show you increase in milk yield. The second one show you how it reduces E. coli strains inside the gut. Right? So getting better performance from that. Organic acids, which you can manufacture from, say, the same probiotics and prebiotics at fermentation process to give you these propionic butyric acids, again, helps inhibit harmful bacteria, improves mineral absorption, and is synergistic with the phytogenetics. So my talks to the university today is look at some of these compounds in your research work. Coconut oil and turmeric in poultry, aloe vera and organic acids in swine, moringa and ginger in layer, and look at neem and coconut oil in dairy. So that's my challenge to you. The mechanisms of action you guys should look into when doing the research. Look at the antimicrobial effect, the antioxidant effect, inflammatory effect, how it digests the stimulant. Look at villi height, crepe, etc. You guys know what you guys doing. And then you guys can look over there, I kind of give you a guide. Look at E. coli, salmonella reduction when you're using these products and come and pitch it to us. So what you want now is a local feed formulation for these compounds. How to extract it properly. I think Dr. Marcy, I was listening to her coming here earlier, wealth of knowledge that lady have, I can tell you, with what we need to move this sector forward. Agricultural research and education, the curriculum needed, and then again, farmer training about phytogenetic applications. We need clinical trials. We need to do a gut microbial profile in the Caribbean. Guys overseas are light year ahead with it. They can give you a DNA marker to tell you if it's a stress problem, if it's heat stress, if it's a bacterial problem. We need to get there. Develop a regional specific nutraceutical blend, and then the government and academic support for these organo-agriculture initiatives. The challenge is standardization of the active compounds. I heard about that earlier. We don't know what the dosage is. Farm adoption, supply chain inconsistency. Export ready for clean product is the opportunities, reduce reliance on antibiotics, and then improve animal welfare and feed security. In conclusion, we need to strengthen the local production system, training, we need research and development, we need public and private partnership, we need to understand phytogenetics and implement it more in our livestock systems, reduce the reliance on antimicrobial antibiotics, and then we need to harness our local resources to promote sustainable practices and create a healthy and more sustainable poultry industry. That is it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Farmer Brown. And excellent presentation. And,